This is the most hardcore game of hide-and-seek you'll ever see. They're pulling out all the stops. You have to be a mastermind to come up with these hiding spots. It's insane! This time, -1 players will hide inside a castle on this island if they can avoid the hunter for 1 hour. They'll win 250,000 Roop. Before the challenge, everyone had a chance to scout the location. They explored the castle and got familiar with the layout. As the contestants arrive on shore, they rush off with their gear, heading for their chosen hiding spots. Doria, based on her earlier reconnaissance, found a large hole inside a wall, just big enough for her small frame. All she has to do now is paste the map she prepared onto the wall. Unless the hunter carefully checks by knocking, it'll be hard to find her. To further confuse the hunter, Daria also placed selfies all over the fortress, with messages like, "I'm right here." Will this blatant misdirection by her anytime? We'll see. Meanwhile, Dmitry heads to a damp, dark chamber. The conditions are so bad, it looks unbearable. Even Boris thinks it's uninhabitable. After looking around, Dmitry decides to hide inside a metal barrel. His disguise is simple, and he hopes he can remain calm when the hunter approaches. Vladimir is carrying a large, black, circular lid. What's he up to? I have to admit, I'm a little impressed. I bet you can guess his next move. The cylindrical object is definitely hollow. He carefully positions the cylinder, then curls up and squeezes inside. He puts the lid on top, a perfect fit. Will the hunter find him? Only time will tell. Green Hat Guy is going all out. He's brought bricks and plans to build a wall in the hallway. He even brought his own cement and water. Talk about dedication. But his bricklaying skills leave a lot to be desired. He's clearly improvising. After who knows how long, he's almost finished. After all that effort, let's hope he makes it to the end undetected. Where will the stunning Polina hide? Where will she go? To find out, you'll have to wait and see. And where is the last contestant? I wouldn't be surprised if he hid his secret stash of cash between those bricks too. He dons a cloak and heads to a deep pit, blending perfectly with the surroundings. Do you think he'll succeed? Night falls and everyone is in position. It's time for the hunter to arrive. No lights are allowed inside during the search. Only flashlights are permitted. With a pounding heart and trembling legs, the hunter enters the building and the hunt begins. The hallways are a maze. At the first intersection, the hunter pauses, unsure which way to go. He decides to trust his gut. The sharp-eyed hunter examines every clue. He scrutinizes every detail. Deeper inside, he finds Doria's selfies. So much for her clever plan. Eventually, he reaches Polina's location. She's hiding on the platform of an abandoned manual elevator. Sensing the hunter nearby, she's terrified. She just wants to go home to her mom. Luckily, the hunter doesn't look closely and moves on to search elsewhere. Continuing his search, he arrives at Vladimir's barrel hiding spot. There's a forklift nearby. The hunter lifts the cover. The tension is palpable. The hunter seems to sense something is amiss. He shines his light, then kicks a nearby barrel out of the way. But when he got to the second pillar, it was obvious he'd hit the mark. No matter how much he touched it, he couldn't feel anything. He had to save some energy to explore other places. After all, this was just the first round of exploration. After the hunter left, Vladimir's anxious heart finally relaxed. He breathed a sigh of relief. He continued to explore and search. Then he came to the disguise under the brick, near Ainan. If nothing unexpected happened, they were destined to miss each other. A normal person who would go and flip the messy wall bricks in a hole. Then as he walked, he arrived at Doria's territory. He came gently and left gently, without taking a single speck of dust. This is indeed a high-end game of hide-and-seek. It made the hunter search hard for 20 minutes, without any results. Where did he go wrong in his performance? This time the hunter came to Green Hat's territory, and suddenly found something amiss. How could new bricks appear in a dilapidated castle? Such an incongruity naturally has a catch. There is. Indeed, there was a discovery. It took half an hour to find the entertainer. It was really not easy. He was doing the most tiring work and was eliminated the fastest. However, finding the entertainer boosted the hunter's confidence. He recalled the path of his first exploration. As he walked, he came to Polina's location again. The man's sixth sense told him that there must be someone above. After looking around, he climbed up the stairs next to him. Arriving on the second floor, he directly turned the gear next to him. Hard work pays off. Thus, the second contestant was eliminated. To clear his mind, he went to the door to breathe some fresh air. Then he returned to the house to continue searching. He held Doria's portrait. This might be his burying his head in the sand tactic. Then he returned to Doria's location and checked each spot. He knocked on the surrounding walls and into view came the map he had passed by several times. This time it finally caught his attention. Wow, how come he didn't think of that just now? Another one eliminated. Time waits for no one. Only 10 minutes left. The hunter continued to search wherever he went. When he saw large boxes or buckets, he would lift them to see if there was anything suspicious. This time he came to Vladimir's territory again. Due to physical exhaustion earlier, he hadn't been able to examine this place carefully. Now the hunter was ready to explore further. Finally, what was coming was coming. The hunter felt that one of the jars was particularly heavy. The shaking motion outside, Vladimir swayed along with it inside. Then he lifted the lid and, as expected, there was a surprise. There were 2 people left on the field. It was obviously impractical to find them all. He came again to the pile of rubble where Ainan was hiding. The light shone directly on him. But after a moment, he went to other places. Finally, the remaining few minutes were all used up. The challenge officially ended. Regrettably, 2 people were not found. He shouted to the castle, "You can come out." School! This door! Following the challenger's responding voice, he came to Ainan's vicinity again. Until the hunter came to him, he was dumbfounded. He couldn't believe it. How many years of cerebral thrombosis must it have taken to come up with this? And on the other side, Dmitri, hiding in the iron bucket, learned that he had successfully hidden for an hour and could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The hunter had searched here during this period, but had only passed by. I have to say, this hide-and-seek is really hardcore. Congratulations to the 2 challengers for winning 250,000 rubles each. Would you be willing to participate in such a hide-and-seek?